All that I see is a lie. We get a fit. That's a drip. She in my wrist. That's a free.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
Cause you be in your zone when you winning on your own when you winning. Wake up, look out the window, see the rose in the Bentley when you winning. When you winning, when you winning. Oh, you ride designer clothes when you winning. Keep when you winning. People all in your business, gotta ride with it tinted when you winning. When you winning, when you winning. Yo, she could come around but can't stick around. That's how I tease her. Been having my waist since a little. Been no pleaser. Always gonna crush these souls when they realize I don't need them. I don't give a fuck how close wheels. You cross the line, I'm squeezing. Every day the same routine, same, ain't no new team. Never ever had hoop dreams, but I'm balling like I want a ring. Demon time over everything. You don't know how much.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. They go play action with Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. First carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On third down, Wilson. And down he goes. Brought down. Sack. Jerry Tillery running in there and setting him down. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. Give them 12 yards that time, and a Las Vegas first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Mon to the air on 1st and 10. That one's complete out to Michael Mayer.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
The Raiders had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
They go play action here. Mon. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Counter play with Jacobs. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Ready up. We can see the goal line.
Mon now off of play action. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Randy Gregory. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They go play action now. Wilson.
He'll air this one out for Mims. He's got it with the 15. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Marvin Mims, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guys covering take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd and 9.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24. You can look at this Bronco defense.
They enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game, because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Here's Mon.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. Good move at the 30. And now the rookie's free. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out. Didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. On 2nd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
To throw is Wilson. Being chased out left. And this is going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Badgley's kick is good.
And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the 1st half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Nixon now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
From the 23, here's the 2nd and 9.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
On the out route, this is Adams with a catch.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Fielded just inside the 20. Shedding through the defense.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Now Williams running left. And he stopped immediately there.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Wilson. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
They try the left side here with Williams. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 30-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders will take over here just shy of the 30. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Now a give to Jacobs running right.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs.
And a loose football. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. Now, I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
This a 2nd and 8.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
51 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play. All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
On second down, Jacobs. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Bond going to throw it.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The kick by Carlson is good, and that'll bring them back within 4.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Play action. Now Wilson.
He'll air this one out for Mims.
And this throw will be intercepted.
And the Raiders are going to have him here at their own 15. Well, he's got one of the strongest arms in the league. Some people may say the strongest, but that can also have a downside occasionally, and here he's intercepted.
Yeah, when we talk about strong arms, being able to throw it deep downfield doesn't necessarily take the strongest. It takes more of the timing type of a quarterback. And it's great to be able to take your shot, but when it hangs up there just a bit too long, you put it in jeopardy. And in this case, it was intercepted.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Now a 2nd and 2. From the gun, here's Mon. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alex Singleton.
And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Badgley able to punch this one through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. Nixon now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Third down and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 84 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 36.
Here's Jacobs from the gun.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now 2nd and 5. Going on the ground with Jacobs.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Off the play fake, Bond. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Touchdown Raiders. Devontae Adams, 31 yards.
And the Raiders Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This quick pass complete to Sutton. And some room to work. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He's got this complete to Hamilton. He could only get a yard after all that. It's second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and 3rd and 1 now. And you know what else happened on that play? He just went past 45,000 career passing yards.
He's going to cherish that moment, but he's also going to celebrate it with so many different people. Guys he's playing with currently, guys he's played with in the past, especially offensive linemen who've kept him upright to throw the ball, receivers who've caught it. I mean, just so many people to embrace. And last but not least, a lot of coaches who called a lot of passing plays.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Jacorian Bennett has it. And the Raiders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Mon looks to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Mon. Trying to lay one up deep. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Throw left side, complete to Shaw. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Wilson.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They give it to Williams, right. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now it's Wilson. And that's incomplete.
That open man that time may end up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
104 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Danico Autry is in on the stop. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball,
you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Here's a quick throw out to Mims. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on first down. That keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos will add to their 4th quarter lead.
And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie. The first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon.
Nixon now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. In just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Under pressure is Mond, and he'll go down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. He'll look to throw. Going up top. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Broncos are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
52 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one 28 yards on the ground. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Raiders are right back in this football game.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
Back to the air, Mon.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the 1st down.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but wasn't enough to get him the completion.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Mond out of the shotgun.
He hits Adams complete.
Down the left sideline. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Davante Adams. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Raiders have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Mond throwing for it.
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that third timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
As to you said big third down, I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Now Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners.
There he goes, left side. A beautiful fake. There's a nice move. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for, because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
And that number might as well be in neon, because you're exactly right. It just jumps up from the stat sheet. Your eyes go right to it. And with that many turnovers, they really played themselves out of this game. Too careless with the football too many times. That cost them the victory.
So for the Broncos, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.